What teams do you think are at the top right now of the NFC? Now, what if I told you that Matthew Stafford would be the quarterback this coming season of the Minnesota Vikings? How would you feel about Minnesota in the balance of power in the NFC? Right now at BetMGM, the Eagles, the Lions, the Niners, the Commanders, the Packers, and the Rams all have shorter odds to win the Super Bowl and win the NFC than the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota last season went 14-3 with Sam Darnold as the quarterback. And Darnold, to be fair, was really good for most of the season before the clock struck midnight at the end of the year. And Darnold turns into a pumpkin, and he's brutal against Detroit in Week 18, and he's horrendous against the Rams Monday night in that wild card game in Los Angeles. But think about the Vikings roster, ready to win, right? That's a Super Bowl caliber roster. Kevin O'Connell's back as the head coach running the offense. And Brian Flores, and I think teams will regret this, he did not get a head coaching job. He will be back calling the shots defensively next year for the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings fit the bill of a team that's ready to win a Super Bowl now. And it doesn't mean that J.J. McCarthy wouldn't be good as the starting quarterback. He might be great. It doesn't mean that Sam Darnold couldn't be good next year if the Vikings were to re-sign him. But let's be real. Sam Darnold is not Matthew Stafford. And the extreme probability is that Matthew Stafford's going to be better in 2025 than J.J. McCarthy. And you can create a scenario where McCarthy's better, but this is a betting show. And my response to anyone who would try and make that claim and construct that scenario, would you bet on it that McCarthy will be better than Stafford this season? So if we start to get rumblings that the Vikings are in on Stafford, let me tell you something. I'm knocking over women and children. NFC, 16-1. Super Bowl, 35-1 with the Minnesota Vikings.